Hey everyone, I'm Alexis the Ego Queen. Love me, and I do. I can never do a proper hair flip with my headphones on. It just does not work. It hates me. It hates me. So. In the last few weeks, I have not been doing response videos to all of the crazy games that have been announced, have been pushed that they're coming out, and whatever. I know a lot of other channels, like Varric has responded to like every single one. I kind of have a life. I'm sorry, Varric. That's friendly fire. I'm sorry. I apologize. That was mean. I didn't intend that to come out as a mean joke. You know what? We're starting off great. This is awesome. Anyway, I have not had a chance to properly respond to all of these games that are being produced and coming out so quickly. So let's go through the brief summary of GW's game release strategy, if we could. So Games Workshop, a couple of years ago, actually I think it was 2 years ago now, decided to take apart their IP and sell it in bits and pieces, strands, and a little bit of it to very individual companies. We got some really good games out of it, like the Night one that I cannot remember the actual name of, which one of the people with me will say right now.
Freeblade?
Freeblade. Thank you. Also joining me is Nooble taking questions, and Prete the Ever-Chosen.
Hello.
Very cool.
Keep in mind, my puppers is very shy, and Pre is a psychopath that joins us for Dark Heresy.
Yes.
So, a couple of years ago, Games Workshop decided to sell bits and pieces of their IP. They decided to do this to try to test the market after THQ's, well, death. I mean, THQ is still technically a game company. It's still technically there. Now, they did release a bunch of trash tier games, like, there was a Grot one. There was a Grot one. I know the Grot one. I have it on... Do I actually still have it on my phone? Hang on. 1 second. No, I don't. But they released a lot of Horus Heresy games, a lot of turn-based strategy games, a chess game, all based on very individual and small aspects of the Games Workshop 40k experience. Snotling Fling. That was it. I kept that on my phone for like a good year. I love that game. I only recently deleted it because I recorded everything from Iceland from this. Now, that all being said, a lot of the games failed horribly, but no one really remembers them. Well, other games did extremely well. The Freeblade game, for instance, did really well. Blood Bowl did extremely well. Battlefleet Gothic did really well. Some of the games, not so well, you know. Dawn of War 3. You did not do well. You died upon release, and I kind of called it, I'm not going to lie. I actually completely called it. The game looked like garbage. In fact, you can watch my video about a year ago now when that game came out, and I was just like, this game looks idiotic. And it failed horribly. But other games have been really successful, and other games are getting sequels now, like Battlefleet Gothic 2, or as I like to call it, Rammy Ships. I really love my Rammy Ships. I think it's a lot of fun. So, I wanted to take a look at a bunch of the games coming out coming out. So, in the background right now, we have Horus Heresy Legions. This is the cinematic trailer for this. So, let's take a listen. Ooh, Istvan. So, Horus Heresy, obviously. Currently in a state of revolt.
Captain Loken, you landed on the objective.
Yes, War Master.
Let the galaxy burn.
The effects look really bad.
There was nothing to betray.
Death is coming sooner than you think.
Charge! Take no survivors!
My apologies, brothers. You must all die. We'll fight to the last man.
The road to terror is open.
Okay. So it's a card game? Neat.
I have actually signed up for getting when it releases. I will get the game, well, 1 day early.
So what do you think of it?
I think it looks kind of interesting, and I'm going to test it out because it's a 30k game.
It is cool that it's 30k. I'll give you that.
But as of now, I mean, there's not much information about it at all out. It's just the trailer, basically, and some small snippets that was on the site that I can't remember at this moment.
All right. Let's see. Does it have more information? Download it here from the Google Store. Nah, I'm good. That does not look... The voice acting was awful. You gotta agree on that, Prey.
Yes, it was. I was especially pissed off about the way they did Angron's voice.
Wait, that was Angron?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. As a voice actress myself, that was bad. And you know what? You know what would actually be cool? And I would pay for this, okay? A digital comic of Warhammer 40k. Voice acting and everything. It would be really cool. Actually, you know what? If I could get an artist, I would do that. I would sit down, I would do that. Of course, I couldn't afford to pay the artist, but, you know, minor details. Anyway, moving on. That game just looked like hot garbage. But, I was actually surprised by the Magic the Gathering app game, where it's like a Bejeweled plus card game. It was actually a lot of fun, so maybe it'd be good? Maybe. I don't know. Alright, moving on, we got Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr. Now, I did actually get a chance to play some of this game. I got to see a lot of it, and from what I saw, it was Diablo. So let's take a listen and see the trailer. We got 2 minutes of a trailer. A galaxy at war.
The universe is infinite and deadly. Beyond the veil lies only corruption.
Decent voice acting.
Far from the guiding light of the God Emperor, torn apart by the foul tempest that distort reality, the veil shreds open and madness gushes through.
Alright.
My sacred duty is to keep vigil here, in the darkness that hides tainted worlds and terrible secrets. I will purge the unclean and raise their nests. I will not hesitate to enter our once proud bastions, now sanctuaries of the wicked and the alien. This is a haven for the heretic and the corrupted. But I will cleanse the abandoned halls. I will face what's lurking among the shadows.
That's a librarian. Actually, with the wrist-mounted Stormholder, that might have been a Grey Knight librarian.
I am an Inquisitor. I shall fear nothing, for I am what you fear.
Okay, so I did actually get a chance to see a lot of this game and see how it plays out and everything. It's a lot like Diablo. In fact, it's Diablo 3. It's Diablo 3. Like, let's, yeah. I really liked it. I will probably definitely be picking this up. Without a doubt, will I be picking this up? Do we actually have gameplay in this trailer?
For 10,000 have fought a secret war to defeat.
Also, the voice acting looks pretty good, and the visuals look pretty good. So it's my style of game. I'm probably going to get into this one. I'm probably going to play it a lot. So this is one that I say pick up. What do you think, Prey?
I would definitely recommend picking this game up. From what I've seen through gameplay videos and everything, it's really good. And also, given that it runs off the similar basis as Diablo, gives it that much more to do, because Diablo is like, you can do
you
so
can do
much.
Everything in Diablo.
And that just gives the game so much potential.
All right. So I think we're definitely in agreement on this game. This game looks actually pretty cool. Definitely going to pick it up. And that is Inquisitor Martyr. Again, I did actually get a chance to test this game out, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't stream it because I just didn't. I didn't have a good setup at the time, so my bad. Okay, next up we have Necromunda Underhive Wars teaser trailer for PS4. Now, Necromunda is kind of okay on the tabletop. It's not really played as much. It's kind of going the same way of Necromunda did a couple of years ago, where it was, oh, Necromunda's so cool. Oh, no one cares. And I feel like that's going to be the way of the tabletop game. Especially with Forge World doing everything. Because it's like, yeah, Forge World's doing stuff. Oh, but I have to pay $30 in shipping for one model that costs like $20. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Oh, you put Genestealer Cult in the game. Alright, I could buy those at my local GW. Oh, you put these other two at GW instead of putting all of them in GW. Yeah. Sorry, I have a really, really negative look on Necromunda as a tabletop game, and it's all because of of Forge World doing everything. It's cool that Forge World's doing it, but we can't get it. We can, it just costs an arm and a leg. So let's take a look at Necromunda Underhive Wars.
I walk through rusted corridors, breathing air recycled 1,000,000 times over. I see a humanity too weak to turn back the madness. This is where I belong. This is my home. My territory. Where the bullet and the knife are kings. Life is cheap. Especially yours.
Nice plasma pistol.
Welcome to the Underhive.
Alright. Okay. It looks pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good. So for those of you that don't really know much about Necromunda, there's a shit ton of books out that you could check out. But the other thing that I would suggest is pick up the Dark Heresy books. They talk a lot more about the in-depths, they're quite literally in-depth about hive cities and things like that. I really should do a lore video on hive cities and properly explain them. I know some other YouTuber did it, but it was just hot garbage. But I really want to do a lore video on like Necromunda and the proper hives and everything like that. It's always something that's been interesting to me, and it's one of my favorite things about the Dark Heresy setting is going through Underhives.
Yeah, I remember when we went through the Underhive.
Yeah. We pretty much murdered everything in our path.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
But the trailer looked really interesting, actually. It's, given though it's also a cinematic trailer, and that's not what the game is going to look like, and of course, but still.
Yeah. Remember what the cinematic trailer for Dawn of War 3 looked like? It looked amazing.
Yeah, and the game was absolute shit.
Yeah, but I love House Scorpion over here. They look pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you got like House Scorpion versus, where's the other household? Here we go. You got House Scorpion versus Cyrax. Awesome. Who doesn't love Cyrax? Wait, is that his name? No, Sector. Sector is the red one.
Yeah, they're down my alley. They like their chain weaponry.
So I feel that you have a spiritual connection with them.
I do. Chain weaponry is my spirit animal.
All right. So that game looked pretty cool. It got to show you some of the cooler weapons that you don't really see in 40k. The actual tabletop game where everything's just mass produced and everything. And Necromunda and the different sectors all throughout the galaxy, weapons don't follow the same STC all over the place. They do, but they don't. Like the plasma pistol that you saw from that girl is different than the plasma pistol that a Space Marine uses. Mostly because the plasma pistol that a Space Marine uses is like that big. Actually, it's like, I think it's actually like that big. Versus a human plasma pistol, which is only this big. It's also stronger if it's bigger for some reason. I'll never understand that one. Same calibers and everything for the bolters. It's bigger, so it's stronger. Never makes sense.
There's an entire science behind why the bigger gun is more powerful than the smaller gun.
You know, I do believe you on that one. Alright, so before we get to the Adeptus Titanicus one, we have a few more. We actually have a lot of games coming out. Like, this is why I said there's too many games coming out. Especially if these games cost like $30 to $60 a pop. Yeah, it's going to cost a shit ton of money. So, let's check out the next game. Adeptus Titanicus Dominus Announcement. I do love the fake Latin. It is great. I read that as meme brand. Warlord Titan with 2 volcano cannons, and I'm not sure what those weapons are up top. I always forget them. Although look at there's just a cute little space marine in front of it. Wait, please tell me you saw that. Wait for it. Wait, look at that cute little space marine. I'm sorry. I see a cute little space marine standing next to an actual war machine. The hell's that space marine gonna do?
Run away?
You can't run away from that thing. You can level entire mountain ranges.
Oh, maybe it's gonna grab onto the leg and get a piggy ride. Sit in there. Whee!
It's Ultra Carl. He just jumps on it. Whee!
Yeah.
So, Titanicus, Adeptus Titanicus. Now, for those of you that don't know, Adeptus Titanicus was an expansion to the old game Epic. I think it was its last expansion before the game just kind of died off because no one played it. Go figure. Like all of GW's specialty games. It's kind of a shame, really. They're actually kind of good. I really like the Titanicus game. I only got to play it once or twice. I do wish that they would bring back something similar to Epic, but on a larger scale. I know that sounds weird, but hear me out on this. So, like, a Warlord Titan would only be, like, that big. Like, 4 or 5 inches tall. I think that would be really cool, because then you can get all the customization onto them and everything, paint them up to be a little bit better. And just overall, that would be kind of cool to bring back to the tabletop.
Would be kind of interesting if they did that, or released the Epic game and made it like 40k, so you actually can have these massive battles that are actually the heresy.
Yeah, like the battles that took place on Calth, for instance. There were Titan legions there. There weren't just like 1 or 2 Titans. There were legions there.
And it would be freaking amazing to actually get to play these battles without having to pay absurd amounts of money for every single model that you want to, get to build the entire legion.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's take a look at what it says about this game. Adeptus Titanicus Dominus is the 3D turn-based strategy PC game. Oh, it's going to be bad. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe. Let's hope. Maybe it'll go down the route of Freeblade. That would be cool. But it's turn-based. So... yeah.
Would have been cooler if they made it like a Freeblade, and you can actually, you start out as a Warhound, and then you progress farther and farther up the trees of the different Titans.
How much do you want to bet the Warhound walks?
A lot.
And doesn't run.
It would just walk, but it should run.
Yeah, because for those of you that don't know, Warhound Titans actually sprint. They actually can fully run. It is probably the most terrifying thing to see this, like, I think they're only like 6 meters tall. They're actually, Warhounds are not that tall, but they're still gigantic. But this thing's sprinting at a target. Like, not just like, oh, look, it's walking and moving slow and it's basically artillery. No, this thing just runs at things and tackles them, or uses Ursus claws to shoot at these things in the head to try to take out their Princeps and pull the Titan down. Oh, by the way, Warhounds operate in packs because they're dogs.
Yeah, which makes Warhounds the best Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they're equipped with the Ursus claws.
Yep. Reavers activate, usually go out in pairs. Warlords go out as singletons, and Warmongers usually go out with only with the Titan legions. There's a lot of cool things that the Titans themselves have going for them, like entire legionary tactics of going to war, being set up for war, being deployed. Like, a lot of people don't know that Warhounds are dropped via drop pod. They're gigantic and drop ships, but they are literally crashed into the planet, opened up, and the Warhound just gets out and starts moving around. It's not too far of a stretch to say that Knights might be deployed in a similar fashion. Granted, that could be a misreading of the book itself, so don't quote me on that. But for the most part, these things are dropped. The bigger Titans are dropped via dropship, multiple parts, then they run over, they put it together really quickly, they put its arms on, they put its legs on, stand it up, and they like go kill things. If you really want a good Titan story, I highly suggest the Binary Succession. It's a really good book about what would happen if the Adeptus Titanicus decided to say, no, we're not fighting with the Imperium. We're not fighting for the Imperium. We are not your slaves. Which has always been kind of funny to me because technically, depending on the war that they do in this book, this is pre-Adeptus Titanicus. This is just when they're just known as the Titan Legions and not an Adeptus. Adeptus is a certain title that grants you right to talk on the Council of Terra. Yeah, lore for you guys. Have fun. Also, if you guys want to support the channel and get your questions answered right away, you could use the super chat feature. It goes a long way to help supporting the channel, keeping my lights on, keeping me fed, and keeping tea in my tummy. Which this has a very particular Happy Time Go-Go juice in it. But it's only very light, it's just for flavor. Anyway, this game looks I don't know. It's showing off a warlord. That's cool. It would have been cooler if it was showing off a warmonger or an emperor class battle titan. But it's showing the warlord, which is the most common of titans. And I know before anybody says it, warhounds are easier to make. According to official lore, the warlord is the most common titan during 30k. Just saying. The lore in 40k is very strange. Spaceships can open up portals to hell and fly through it. And somehow hell has physics. Let's not even try to justify that one. Oh yeah, by the way, it's an Ultramarine and his shoulder pad looks gigantic on this side and tiny on this side. His backpack is massive. This Space Marine is just all sorts of terrible proportions.
It's a special snowflake Ultramarine.
Hey, don't diss the Ultramarines. They're cool.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are, damn it. Also, the blue and gold is kind of weird with the Ultra symbol on his shoulder and this backpack. This would imply that he's actually Mark 7 armor. So this doesn't take place during 30k, so that's fine. So it would be Adeptus Titanicus. My bad. Anyway, let's move on. Warhammer 40k Mechanicus teaser trailer. Right off the bat, just in this, we got some cool art in the background, a few candles. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of the candles in 40k are actually electric. They're lights. But also a lot of them are regular candles. The wax seals are actual wax. There's nothing special about a purity seal unless you think it's special. Okay.
The moment I understood the weakness.
Oh, I'm going to go back to the beginning so we can hear the whole thing.
From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I aspired to the purity of the blessed machine. Your kind cling to your flesh, as if it will not decay and fail you. One day the crude biomass that you call the temple will wither, and you will beg my kind to save you. But I am already saved. For the machine is immortal. Even in death, I serve the Omnisire.
Okay. Do we tell them that metal rusts? Like, do we tell them that?
Nah, they can figure it out on their own.
And those fleshy bits, you know, the ones that you can't get rid of, they'll rot, and you'll die. Ha! Eternal Crusade. That's a bad game. Kind of curious what this game looks like. I haven't really checked out anybody who really does this. I'll probably pick it up once we get it because I tend to like the Mechanicum. It's how I play Dawn of War, is I play it essentially as Mechanicum. And I play Battlefleet Gothic as Mechanicum. So I do like the Mechanicum. Well, Mechanicus in this case. But without knowing about the game too much, I can't really say much. Let's see if there's more about the game itself. Now on Steam. All right, let's see. Okay. Don't want to watch a trailer. Let's see your about real quick. Do you actually have, like, gameplay yet? Do you not have gameplay on your own channel? Alright, let's see media. No. I don't want damn pop-ups. Awesome. Are you gonna make me load and get the pop-ups? Oh, I hate you. Yeah, let's allow once. No. No. Okay, sweet deal. Good website. Good job. Whatever. I'll check it out. Varric has a playthrough. Good for him. I'll check it out. I probably won't check out his video. I'll probably just get the game myself. But I'll play through it. I'll just enjoy it. I always viewed the Mechanicum as a bit cocky. Like, just a bunch of assholes. Like, oh, you're just fleshy bits and whatever. I would love for a Mechanicum to say that to a Psyker and the Psyker to just lift him up and just start crushing him. Just like, oh, wow, humans is so weak, man. If only, right? And just crush him to death and just be like...
That would be kind of funny.
Just, wow. I mean, shit, dude. Alright, next one we have Warhammer 40k Gladys Relic of War announcement trailer. Okay. I'm liking. 4 factions. There's a lot more than 4. Oh my god, it looks retarded. Mechanicus is more like XCOM. Then I'll get it. That sounds awesome. Necrons. Like, I'm not dissing on the Necrons, but they're not a popular army. Tyranids would have been a much better choice. I think I'm gonna pass. Like, that looked silly. That looked really silly.
Yeah, I think it looked a lot like that tabletop thing Games Workshop did a few years ago, where you get those hexagonal tiles that you basically build up your base and everything like that, and just, you know...
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people use those for campaigns, but to be honest, that looked a lot like Dawn of War 3 graphics, and that was bad. So I'm kind of meh. But if Mechanicus is like XCOM, I'll definitely play it. With dungeon crawler elements? Alright, yeah, we'll definitely check that out. Alright, so this one's Horus Heresy, Betrayal of Calth, Early Access Trailer. Those Space Marines looked like they were constipated.
Yeah, I don't know why people make them move like so blocky. They should be moving really fluently.
This looks terrible. This looks like that Space Wolf game. Okay.
The turn-based strategy game?
That looked, the hell was that? That just looked silly. Everything was too bright.
Yeah, I mean, where was the grim darkness? Where was the actual, you know...
Like, look how happy this place looks. This looks like a freaking modded level out of Team Fortress, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's supposed to breed the grim darkness and whatnot, and it's just bright and cheery, and it's also supposed to be on Calth. Why is this so bright?
Yeah. I mean, the Marines themselves, they look okay. Like, see, this looks a little bit better.
Yeah, that looks fine.
And it's a VR game. VR games are just stupid.
They should wait quite a while before VR is actually made better, because right now it's just meh.
Alright, I'm not gonna lie. This is an absolute pass for me. I am not even interested in this game in any way, shape, or form. It's cool that they got the weaponry correct, like, from the arrow and everything. But it's literally, they took the Betrayal at Calth box set and didn't tell anybody about what it is, and they were just like, these red dudes fight these blue dudes. Pew, 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 pew. Okay. I mean, if you turn off the lighting completely, it might look good.
Yeah.
One over here looks like he's in a hockey mask.
He came to Calth to play hockey, nothing else. It was like, oh damn, where are these other guys here messing up my hockey game?
So, oh, we didn't get the Dawn of War, the actual good game that's coming out, which is Space Hulk. Can you do me a favor and grab Space Hulk's trailer for me?
Tactics or Deathwing?
Oh, just the battle. There it is. Now, here's a good game. This is a game that I can't wait for. Like, not gonna lie, this I'm super excited about. And it just looks amazing. Goodbye, Acadia.
Bye-bye.
A god will awaken.
Refrain. Look at that booty. Also, I just want to say, I want a story on how he got his flagship back, because that was lost. And I gotta say, I'm hyped for this one. Like, I'm just gonna leave it right here. We know what the trailer is. I've watched it like 12.5 times. This is the game that I'm honestly looking forward to the most. Like, if they announced a Space Marine 2 and this, I would be more hyped for this than a Space Marine 2 because we got Eternal Crusade and that was hot garbage. I know a lot of people try to say that it's good. It's not. Stop pretending. Stop lying to yourself. You know it's bad. And you should feel bad about it. And you probably do feel bad that you know it's bad. But this game is good.
Yeah, I'm super excited about Battlefleet Gothic too. It's going to be great.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. Like, even if it was just Battlefleet Gothic 1 with more ships, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Because Battlefleet Gothic 1 was great. Oh, man. I know Zoran hated it. Like, he absolutely hated it, and I loved every second of it. I am so close to 1v1ing Abaddon and beating him. Just saying. Just saying. Eternal Crusade had so much potential wasted. It didn't. It was bad from the get-go.
Yeah. It was bad from the start.
Like, if the Marines actually felt like Marines, I'd be more okay with it, but it just doesn't. Like, Eternal Crusade it does not feel like Space Marines. It feels like I'm just it feels more like freaking what's the one Call of Duty game where they're in space?
Infinite Warfare?
Yeah, Terrible Warfare. It felt like that game instead of actual 40k. And I'm not even comparing it to Space Marine. Like, Space Marine was a good game, but I wouldn't compare it to that. It felt more like a cheesy, dumbed-down version of Call of Duty. Everybody, like, the Eldar just ran around with knives.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's just me pissing and moaning. So, Noble, what do we got for questions?
Well, we haven't actually gotten that many. 1 second.
Alright.
Right. Yeah, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far.
What? Guys, come on, ask questions. Go for it. You can ask me anything. That's what the Tuesday live stream is all about. It's asking questions while I come up with a topic and I bitch and moan about stupid stuff coming out. Don't you know this?
So, first question?
Sure.
Which faction would you like to see explored more in future games? Ultra Smurfs and Blood Ravens got enough love already.
Which factions? Probably the Imperial Guard. Like the Astra Militarum, the Eldari, or even the Dukari. Actually, I think almost every other faction needs to be explored more except for our Space Marines. Just saying.
Yeah, I feel the same. There's so many other factions than just Space Marines. Then I'm talking about the Loyalist Space Marines. I'm not talking about the Chaos Space Marines. Because even the Chaos Space Marines needs to be fleshed out a bit more.
Like, I would love to actually play a game from the Black Legion standpoint. Where you actually go through a couple of the Crusades and you find out that they had different goals than crushing the Imperium. Because Abaddon played for the Long War. That's where the whole thing, the Long War, comes from. Is, yeah, we beat him back. Woo, we did it. But Abaddon's actual mission was to, like, crush a couple of things and take a few things and actually distract you from a real offensive later on in the future. Because he's a master tactician. I would love to play a game from that point of view.
Yeah, and hopefully that game will come out in the near future. If they have great success with these games coming out, we might get that.
Mm-hmm. Or play a game where it's based entirely on the Legion Wars. For those of you that don't know what the Legion Wars is, it sounds like Horus Heresy, doesn't it? Well, you're not entirely wrong. It's actually after the Horus Heresy, when all of the Chaos Fleets are in the Veil. And in the Eye of Terror, but not actually in the Eye of Terror. The Veil is the outskirts of the Warp. And that's where a lot of the Chaos fleets actually set up, and they have planets there and everything. A lot of people also don't realize that there's 4 levels of the warp. It's the Veil, the Eye, the Inner Eye, and then there's the realm of, well, then there's the realm of the gods.
Yeah.
The Chaos Space Marines sit on the outskirts and normally don't interfere with actual demons. They kind of don't like them. But yeah, I would like to play a game in there.
Sorry?
Go for it, Pri.
Yeah, they tend not to like, you know, interacting with them because they're spooky and do nasty things with them.
Mm-hmm. Like, it'd be cool to, like, pick your own legion, start your own Chaos Warband, and actually have to fight for your supremacy in the Veil before coming into real space and starting to raid planets. Like, you could literally have 3 factions in it, and it would be an amazing game. Like, you could have Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, but just have the entire roster of Chaos Space Marines. Not the entire roster, but the main roster. And then have some Tempestus Scions and Imperial Guard and Astra Militarum forces on the outskirts, and it would be an amazing game. I'd leave plenty of room for an actual expansion into, like, tyranids and other things as they raid Imperial space. Hell, even playing as the Tau would be kind of cool in that instance, where the Ultramarines, the Space Marines, the Imperium is actually the bad guys.
Yeah, we actually need a game out of that.
It'd be fun. All right, next question.
So, should GW keep some Forge World stuff in their stores?
God, yes. It's actually kind of idiotic that they don't. In my mind, I always saw it as just wasted opportunity. I get that they have Forge World, but they could make a bunch of Forge World stuff. They could backstock it and ship that to their warehouses in the US, in Australia, all over the country. All over the planet and everything, and actually have a backlog of this stuff that can be sent to regular stores as a special order. I always saw that as a missed opportunity, but maybe, you know, maybe one day.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of silly that they don't have Forge World stuff in the stores themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, when I think of it, when I was younger, in one of the stores here in Sweden, where I usually bought all my stuff, they actually had the Forge World stuff in store, because they bought in a lot of the specialist things they had and stocked them up in the store.
Now, before you read the next question, I'm going to dart really quickly to open my door because it's actually getting rather hot in here.
Okay.
2 seconds. Okay, back.
Would you want to live in a hive city?
Would I like to live in a hive city? Hell no. I'd like to live. No, somebody like me would die almost immediately in a hive city. I'd be sold into slavery, I'd be beaten, killed, or I would have to fight every single day of my life. No, if I lived in a hive city, you know how quickly I would try to find a cult of Slaanesh?
But then you would just die even sooner.
Yeah, but at least I'd be happy.
True.
Well, I wouldn't be happy so much as experiencing excess.
Yeah. That is indeed true.
Okay, next question.
How did Titans get retrieved to be transported back from the battlefield?
Dropships. There's actually an art in a I think it's the 4th or 5th edition Imperial Guard Codex where they show the big giant dropships dropping off millions of guardsmen. It's actually those types of ships that fly really low, land next to the Titan. A bunch of stuff comes out of it, lifts up the Titan, puts it inside its ship, closes it, and then takes off from the ground. It's really funny.
Yeah, I can't remember ever seeing that one, but again, I never played Guard.
It's actually on the cover. They have a drop ship. It's the cover of 5th edition, I want to say. Oh well.
Next question?
Yep.
The Warhounds are specialists, though. So wouldn't it make more sense for them, for a generalist to be the most common?
That is actually very true. I saw that question as it went past, and I've been thinking about it a lot because Warhounds, their weapons are easier to make, but they need to pick and choose their weapons prior to going out to battle, and they need to have a weapon system that can sustain their style of combat, which is running and actually being forward scouts. So they do have anti-Titan weapons attached to them, but they have to be able to carry them. So yeah, they're kind of specialists in that case. Also, it must take a lot more time to actually build them because of all of the gears and servos that go into them needing to be sustained versus you build a warlord, which is from an STC, which is you just get the resources and build it. But it's got to be a little bit easier to maintain because it barely moves. Versus a warlord who probably twists his ankle a lot and crashes a lot.
Yeah. But to give some insight into the whole specialist generalist thing, just take like, for example, a normal army in these days that you have the specialist units like rangers and everything like that. You don't see armies mass producing rangers and like or something like that. They mass produce infantry units because the specialists are specialists and take longer to train. So yeah, your point stands.
Yeah, could you imagine the training regiments on a warhound? Like, all right, we want you to take this gigantic 11-ton war machine and run it like 60 miles per hour that way into the enemies and tackle that Titan. Dude, what?
You want to do what?
Or take your dual Ursus claws and flank that warlord and take it down. Have you ever seen Star Wars? What?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the legions that does that, the legion that uses Ursus claws are, attached to the one legion that actually has the Ursus claws.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are a few legions that have the Ursus claws, but they don't use them anymore. All right, next question.
I'm currently making a flyer, melee ranged, and what gun should I use?
I've been having this question a lot lately, because when I build my flying hive tyrant, it used to just be two twin-link devourers of brainleech worms, and then he would land and get into combat. But now I kind of like one set of monstrous scything talons and one set of twin devourers of brainleech worms. That's how I've been running mine, because I like getting them up close, landing and actually killing things, and then using psychic powers to do shenanigans, and getting them into that position to kill key units. Undefended characters is a really easy target for them. Also, if they don't have a close combat weapon now, they kind of suck in close combat because you get your normal armor save against a fucking monstrous creature. I think it's a little bit silly. So whatever you do, 2 sites. Okay, next question.
Next question. 1 second. Would you like a book from the perspective of an orc? How would that work as a narrative?
There are actually a few books from the perspective of orcs, audiobooks, and they're pretty decent. I mean, look at Dawn of War 2's campaign from the orcs' perspective. Could you imagine Space Marine if it was from that orc war boss's perspective? It can work. It's just you would have to tell it from a storyteller's point of view of the battle instead of from the orc's point of view. But even if you did it from the orc's point of view, there is a way of actually doing it and doing it well. Actually, what is the name of the audiobook? I listened to it. It's like an hour long, and it talks about a mech boy who he notices Space Marines coming in, and he just turns off the bubble because he doesn't like this one mech boy, and just lets the Space Marines kill him as he makes his escape. Next question.
Do you ever think they would make a Dark Eldar game?
Gangs of Kimura? Yeah, that could happen. It'd actually be kind of cool. It would be like a pit fighter. So it'd just be... No, I could actually totally see this working, too. It would be more like a gladiator game, okay? So, alright, here's how I would do it. First off, you start out as a clone. Or you can, your second playthrough of the game, you get to be a trueborn. Or you get to pick any of the random races, like the witches. So you start off as a witch. Let's start with that. All right. At first, you're given no armor, and this is where sexy armor works, because the Dark Eldar and the Eldar move so fast that conventional armor and conventional clothing would just not work on them. In fact, this is actually kind of explained. I know this is stupid, but this is explained in the lore. Like Lilith Hexbergs, for instance, she wears a bra and not a thong. It's too thick to be a thong, but too thin to be hipsters. It kind of looks like a granny thong, but I think it's supposed to be a thong, so I'm just gonna say a thong. It's cute as hell. I really want to cosplay her. I would run into a slight problem, but anyway, it's the hair. I would never dye my hair. Anyway, that's totally the problem. Anyway. You start off as, like, a witch. You pick your basic weapon, and as you level up in the society around you, where the society is like this brutal warfare / drug-addicted society, because that's what the Dark Eldar are, you get to torture people, maim people, beat the shit out of people. It'd be like all of the good parts of God of War. Yeah, it would just be all the good parts of God of War. And you could join raids with your friends, like go online, join raids. You get into an actual raider, fly through a battlefield, just hooking people with like meat hooks and everything, trying to take them back to Kimura and everything. You actually do full warfare, and if you really want to. When you get back to Kimura, you trade in your loot for upgrades to your character. So, like, you get the armor, you get a power sword, you get a witch blade, you get a fusion pistol, you get all this crazy stuff, and then you go into the arena and you try to become an arena champion, and they keep dropping things in front of you from Warhammer's, like, extended universe. So, like, the first couple of things they drop in the arena against you is, like, some boys, and you have to carve them apart. Then they drop in, like, a knob, and the knob has those weapons and everything, and he starts fighting you. That'd be cool. Then they drop in a Space Marine, and the Space Marine's, like, insanely tough, but you have to use your maneuverability and some abilities that you unlock from the Powers of Pain or from combat drugs, where you slow down time and you have to hit him behind, like, the legs and everything, cut out between his armor and everything, cut off his arm, get inside him, stab him in the throat, you know, getting all sorts of special attacks and everything. I could totally see this working as a hack and slash game. Then you get, as you level up, the final challenge is like a Swarm Lord. They drop one in there and you have to kill it. And then the challenge after that would be like Lilith Hexbergs herself, or Iniad, or Wait, is that her name? Avrain. Avrain. They drop in Avrain. And you have to fight that. And as you go through Kimura, you can actually find like a Genestealer cult that's been hiding there, or some type of cult that's been hiding there. You can kill them, gain influence, become an Archon. There's a lot that they can actually go into this game with. And it would actually be kind of amazing. Like, it would just be a hack and slash game from a Dark Eldar's perspective. And like the whole time you could just be talking down to people, just sassing them the entire time. It would definitely need a charisma system similar to that of Fallout New Vegas. Hands down. You would need all new ways of torturing people. It would have to be rated M. Absolutely rated M. God, I could go on about games like that. Next
question.
Yeah.
Should there be a 40k equivalent to Battlefield?
As much as I want to say yes, it simply wouldn't look good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it probably would not look good. The balancing in it would be terrible, and maybe we can get it to work if you confine it to small areas. But aside from that, it might not work. Yeah. Although if they did make it, I'd still buy it.
I mean, it would have the same problems as Eternal Crusade. They wouldn't be able to get the balancing right at all. It would be everything needs to be at the same power, or else you can just have one guy basically spawn into the game as a Space Marine and go nuts on everyone.
Yeah. Like, or you play an Eldar and you literally just table everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of Eternal Crusade's problem right now. Or it was when I played it. Then I stopped playing it because it didn't feel like a 40k game.
No, it was Eldar raiding party.
Yeah. And I even played the Eldar, like, I just did not like them. Anyway, next question.
Question coming right up. Do you think there will ever be a game that's not about the Imperium?
No. Well, actually, smaller games, yes, but major developed games like, major developed games, but bigger developed games, probably not. Because, and simply put, the Imperium is the top-selling army. It is going to be what catches everybody's eye. It is the most important thing in the 40k setting is Space Marines. It's their highest seller. Sorry. It is what it is. My lipstick looks black, doesn't it? It's actually like a dark red.
Yeah, I mean, from where I'm looking at the screen, yes, it looks very dark red, blackish.
It's not. It's like it's an auburn. It's actually really nice. Anyway.
It is.
Next question.
Would you want a redesign of IG cards and IG vehicle and gear?
Would I redesign it? No, it's silly. I like it.
Next question.
Yeah.
What 40k book would you recommend to a newcomer? And what is your favorite 40k book? I can speak, I promise.
Okay. 40k book for a newcomer, read the Caiaphas Cain books. It doesn't take 40k as serious. It's a really interesting read. Caiaphas Cain is a really funny character. Think of him like Zap Brannigan from Futurama. That would be a good intro book, but if you want a really good book, Master of Mankind, once you start getting more accustomed to the 40k universe at large. Other than that, my favorite book, it's always a tough call because I really like Red and Black. That has been one of my most consistent favorite books. Fulgrim is extremely good. Master of Mankind is really good. Black Legion is really good. Or Talon of Horus. Talon of Horus is really good. Black Legion is also really good. Yeah. Those are my favorite books. I really like Fulgrim. It's one of my favorite characters.
Next question.
Hey, Pri, what is your favorite book?
My favorite book, to be fair, it's not a 40k book. It's, well, technically a 30k, but it's the Angron Omnibus that has everything about the world leaders, basically.
Very nice.
Because as most people are in the Discord know, if you have questions about Khorne or world leaders, you go to me. That's my thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my thing. I try to learn everything I can about that, and I have been for the past 23 years.
All right, let's get the next question.
Would a 40... wow, I already messed that up. My apologies. Would a Battlefield-esque 40k game work if you stuck it to the Horus heresy?
Battlefield-style Horus heresy game. Maybe. It would have to go to the right developer, and I'd have to... I personally would say no. But in the right developer's hands, definitely maybe. Well, I see our good friend Mope and Alexandria going full Slaneshi in my comment section. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, who would have guessed Mope is doing something Slaneshi?
Yeah. Alright, what do we got for the next one?
This is the last one, it seems. What if they made a 40k Battlefield Guard versus Cultist game?
No, see, that would work. They'd have to keep it to the minor factions and the little factions, because once you start getting too big, it starts becoming a problem. I think that would work. It would also be cool to introduce like Genestealer cult and like all 4 Chaos Gods cults. And maybe minor Xenos races like the Corellian Dog Warriors or the Crew. Yeah, that would work. Yeah.
Oh, no, I actually think you missed a question.
Oh, where?
From Mope, I think. I think if you made a game similar to Star Wars Battlefront 2, the game from 2005, with most players being cultists and allowing a starters to high-scoring player, it'd be fantastic. Okay, that wasn't a question, it was more a statement, but...
Yeah, that would work. And no, Alexandria, shush your face. I see your question. Meh.
Ignore it.
Thoughts on Deathcore? Thoughts on Dead Men Walking for Deathcore of Krieg? I like it. Yeah. Yeah. Next question.
That was it.
Oh, that's it. Huh. Well, but... Well, it's been a 1-hour video. I think we're going to wrap it up right there. Anyway, guys, I want to thank everybody for joining me. I want to thank Prite, the Ever-Chosen, and Nubal for joining me, for helping me out, and being awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Nubal?
All
right. Good comment, Nubal.
Yes.
Anyway, guys, I want to thank everybody for watching, and I want to thank everybody for the continuing support on the channel. We just hit 10,600, which is insane. And I gotta say that. I gotta thank all of you guys. You guys are awesome. If you want to continue to be awesome, here's my useless plug. You know I have to do it. If you want to help support the channel, go down to the comment section down below. Not the comment section. Well, go down there and comment and whatever. But go down to the comment section down... the description down below. I got this. Check out my social media. Check out my Patreon. If you want to join my Discord, all you have to do is donate $1 to me on Patreon. It opens up my Discord. And come and check it out. I am always in my Discord. I am always talking to everybody. You guys should definitely check it out if you haven't already. Anyway, guys, I'm Alexis the Ego Queen. I love you guys. Bye.